Good afternoon and welcome to the Sullivan Center on the campus University of St. Francis, here live from Joliet, Illinois. Terry Bonadonna with you for today's CCAC battle between the Fighting Saints of St. Francis and the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose. We're at center court, ready to get started. Lewis Holy against John Kerr on the tip, and it's won by St. Ambrose center John Kerr. We're underway. The Bees are going from left to right, wearing their navy blue uniforms today. The Saints are in their home whites. They'll be going from right to left, right out of the gate. A quick three-point attempt, no good, and the rebound goes to the Saints. Dylan Kazmarek on the miss there. Saints get their first possession of the game after getting the stop on the defensive end. This is Russell Tillery passing up to Joey Bajemi. Good ball movement by the Saints. Everybody's touched it on this possession so far. Fahey outside Bajemi. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Russell Tillery on the right side. Down to the corner, Carter Fahey shoots the three. Off the glass, no good, and the rebound goes to St. Ambrose. Quick look at the starters for the Fighting Bees today. Dylan Kazmarek and Ben Scholes in the backcourt. Michael Williams, Warren Allen are the forwards, and John Kerr is the center for St. Ambrose. And there's Warren Allen laying it up at the rim for the first 2 points of the game. 2 points for Warren Allen. Allen a 6.5 point per game scorer. Eric Ting is the leading scorer for the Fighting Saints. He passes off to Joey Bajemi. Ting and Bajemi are joined in Ryan Marks' starting lineup by Carter Fahey, Russell Tillery, and the center Lewis Holy. Here's Bajemi for three. Got it. 3-2, Saints lead off of Joey Bajemi's three-pointer. Bajemi's been a hot shooter from the outside all year, 49% coming in. He's now at exactly 50%. He's made 23 of his 46 shots from beyond the arc this season. Here's John Kerr spinning around Fahey. He scores and draws the foul. Nice move down low by John Kerr. He is a difficult man to stop. One of the early front runners for Conference Player of the Year. Kerr, a senior from Lake Villa, Illinois, scores 18.5 points and picks up 11 rebounds per game. Kerr misses on the free throw, though. So it's a 2-point play, not three. And the Saints trail by just one with the ball after nearly 2 minutes of action. Joey Bajemi holds on the right wing. Up top to Russell Tillery, left alone for three, but it's an air ball. They gave him some space. Michael Williams was the closest man to him, but he backed off, allowed Tillery to take that shot. It's not a high percentage move to let him take an open three. He is a 38% three-point shooter, but he was not able to finish it off that time. Here's Warren Allen stripped and knocked out of bounds. Fahey stripped it. I think Holy was the last one to touch the ball. St. Ambrose possession. Fell inbound from the baseline. It's Williams. Into Ben Scholes. Now here's Kerr working against Holy. Passed out to Kazmarek. Here's Ben Scholes once again. He backs up with just 7 on the shot clock. Scholes makes his move down the lane, misses the layup. Lewis Holy was there to contest it. Joey Bajemi made a three a few moments ago. This time he elects not to shoot. Gives it up to Russell Tillery. Saints reset 10 seconds into the possession. Tillery lobs it high for Lewis Holy. Up top, Eric Ting. Ting around his screen, works his way to the basket, flips it outside. Here's Tillery, he's fouled. Dylan Kazmarek is called for the bump there. Bajemi will be the inbounder. It's the first foul of the game on St. Ambrose. Shot clock reset to 20. It's Eric Ting over to Russell Tillery. Back up top, Ting. Ting's pass is deflected. The ball is loose and out of bounds. Last touch by St. Francis. We're going the other way. Joey Bajemi's three-pointer, the only offense so far in today's game for the Saints. Fighting Bees lead by a point at the 17-minute mark. Here's Dylan Kazmarek. Kazmarek bounces it into Kerr. John Kerr steps back. Jumper is good. Tough move by John Kerr. Did not set himself up with a great-looking shot, but he put it in anyway over the defense of Lewis Holy. Kerr's got 4 of his team's first 6. Here's Eric Ting. Ting drives with the left hand. He's contacted and fouled. I think that's Kaczmarek from behind. And if that's correct, that's his second foul. 16:34 to go in the first half. And Dylan Kaczmarek has already picked up 2 fouls. It's the second on the team as well, as Eric Ting goes to the line for 2 shots. Ting, one of the better free throw shooters on the team, 80% for the season. It's good. Eric Ting is one of 2 players on the Saints averaging double figures in points per game, 12.5. Joey Bajemi is the other. They move the ball around a lot. Makes it difficult for St. Ambrose's defense. Nobody really that they can key in on, but Ting has been the guy to take the big shots when they've needed them, and with the offense struggling early in this game, he was able to find his way to the line and knock down a pair of free throws. So it's a 1-point game. Here's Warren Allen, kicked out to Michael Williams. Williams bounces it down low to Allen, working against Carter Fahey. Step back for Allen, he takes the jumper and hits it. That's a similar spot on the floor to the one where John Kerr hit in the face of Lewis Holy a few moments ago, but not easy shots for either man. They were both able to knock him down. St. Ambrose ahead by 3 once again. Here's Fahey out to Russell Tillery. Joey Bajemi gets the screen from Lewis Holy. Bajemi shovels it off to Eric Ting. Only 7 seconds to shoot. Ting starts to drive, double teamed, works his way around both defenders. Beautiful pass to a cutting Carter Fahey, and the Saints are able to score. Gorgeous backdoor cut from Carter Fahey, and the layup gives him his first 2 points of the game. Now Allen working against Fahey, tries to bank it in but misses, and a loose ball foul is called against St. Ambrose. 1-point deficit for the Fighting Saints. 15:29 to play, first half. And St. Francis will try to take their first lead since it was 3-2. Tillery on the right wing. Up top to Lewis Holy. Left side, Eric Ting once again. Ting fakes, drives, bounces outside to Tillery. Tillery fires it into the corner, deflected by Ben Scholes. Substitution for the Bees. Warren Allen heads to the bench. That's our first look at 6'8" inch tall center Patrick Torrey. Here's Fahey over to Eric Ting. Ting whips it across to Fahey. Carter Fahey working against Ben Scholes. 3-pointer is blocked with the shot clock expiring. And Scholes takes it the other way, ahead for Friel. Friel spins to the basket and lays it in. Jake Friel, the freshman, scores his first 2 points. A tight contest early on. St. Francis has only led once at 3-2. St. Ambrose has not been ahead by more than 3 in the early going as Lewis Holy works inside against Torrey, misses off the glass, dives for the rebound, but Friel gets there first. Here's Jake Friel working his way inside, off the glass and in. Timeout called by Ryan Marks, who is livid that there was not a traveling called on Jake Friel as he took the step down the lane before connecting on his second consecutive field goal. Good start for Jake Friel. And when we come out of this timeout, Friel, or one of his teammates, is going to get some free throws here as Ryan Marks has been given a technical foul. Didn't let up about that traveling call. Friel is a 53% shooter from the field. Doesn't play big minutes as a freshman for veteran head coach Ray Shovlin, but he has been efficient when he's been out there. And this St. Ambrose team is one that can score some points. Mentioned 18 per game for their star player John Kerr. They were held to only 61 the last time they played St. Francis, but they held the Fighting Saints to 56. That was back on December 16th. First meeting between these two teams about a month ago, and Fighting Bees, in what was officially considered a non-conference game at the time, were able to knock off the Saints, one of their 3 losses this year. This time it is officially a CCAC matchup. Ben Scholes knocks down the first free throw. One more for Scholes. And he makes them both. So the 2 free throws out of the technical foul makes St. Ambrose a 7-point leader. Biggest lead of the game for the Fighting Bees as they scored 6 in a row. Scholl's just a 68% foul shooter. Kind of curious that he was the one sent to the line, but he had a good-looking stroke there. Here's E.J. Charles into the game for St. Francis, passing off to Russell Tillery. Looks like the Saints have also brought in DeAndre Johnson. Joey Bujemi pull-up jumper. I'm not sure if that was tipped or not, but well short of the rim. And here come the Bees trying to add to their lead. Friel down to Scholes in the corner. Scholes pulls up for 2, misses it short, and the rebound goes to Tillery. Here's Joey Bujemi all alone from 3-point range, and that was nicely done by the Fighting Saints. Russell Tillery saw him to the left. Good pass by Tillery, and Bujemi was left unchecked by the St. Ambrose defense. That's a big shot for St. Francis. They kept it close the first 6 minutes or so, but St. Ambrose was starting to pull away a little bit. Now they keep it tight, just a 4-point game. 12 on the shot clock for the Bees. John Kerr inside, turnaround jumper, air ball. DeAndre Johnson saved it just in case that ball was tipped. I don't think it was, but the Saints are able to get going the other way. Here's Tillery out to Bujemi again, and Bujemi will fire the 3 again. This time it's too strong. Didn't take that one in rhythm as he had the previous shot after the pass from Tillery. So Bujemi is now 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Michael Williams passes off to Jake Friel on the left wing. Friel guarded by Russell Tillery. Down to John Kerr in the corner. Back outside Michael Williams. Williams with 9 to shoot. Drives around Bujemi. Met at the rim by DeAndre Johnson. Johnson turns him away. Here come the Saints. It's Russell Tillery. Tillery was going 1-on-4 there and wisely slowed it down. Eric Ting back up top to Tillery. Over to the right wing. Joey Bujemi back to Tillery once again. Lobbed for Charles. Charles looked like he was setting a screen. He got the pass, had to adjust to it. Now the turnaround jumper misses long. Tillery with the follow. It's good. Russell Tillery has his first 2 points coming off the offensive rebound. The Bees didn't account for him off of that missed shot. And now Tillery comes up to the steal. Here's Russell Tillery on the other end. Lays it in to tie the score. Timeout called by St. Ambrose. Great run by Russell Tillery. Picked up the assist on the Joey Bujemi 3-pointer. Got the rebound and the putback off of E.J. Charles' miss, and then a steal and a bucket on the other end. So he has been at least partially responsible for 7 consecutive points. There's a rebound and a steal in that run as well. Great run for Tillery. Good run for the Saints as well, as they are tied up 14-14, 12:05 to play in the first half between 2 teams that have been pretty evenly matched in their 2 meetings this year. A good hard-fought game back in mid-December. St. Ambrose was able to pull out in Davenport. And today's game has been very competitive, the first 8 minutes. Saints put on full court press coming out of the St. Ambrose timeout. Warren Allen will inbound. He's able to get it in, and they break the press. Over to Will Spriggs on the left side. Picked up by Nadav Gurner. Substitutes came in for both sides during that timeout, including Dylan Kazmarek back in for St. Ambrose. He's been on the bench with 2 fouls. This is Kazmarek kicking it back out. Warren Allen, before the shot, was fouled. Saints have been pretty clean on the foul department in the first half. That's just their 3rd. It is the 1st on E.J. Charles. Here's Spriggs bouncing it in low to Patrick Torrey. Torrey is called for the walk. Bees turn it over. Just their 2nd turnover of the game. It's only the 3rd turnover total in this game. Just 3 turnovers in the first 8.5 minutes, only 6 combined fouls. Game's had some pretty good flow to it early on as Nadav Gurner holds it on the right side. Down to the corner, Charles, baseline jumper from 2-point range, rims out, and the rebound goes to Dylan Kazmarek. Quickly on the other end, it's Friel. Down to the corner, Spriggs, open 3. Too strong. The rebound goes to Carlos Tavares. Tobias slows it down. St. Ambrose does a good job in transition defense. We've seen it a few times today. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia gives it in to DeAndre Johnson, and Johnson finishes it off. The half-court defense left something to be desired that time from St. Ambrose. Johnson was left unguarded down low as Maxwell-Topia was able to feed him the basketball and finish off the possession. Now a foul called on E.J. Charles on the other end. That's the second foul on E.J. Charles, and it'll get Josh Cherry off the bench for the Fighting Saints. So Cherry's out there now with Maxwell-Topia, Gerner, Johnson, and Tobias. Saints have their biggest lead of the afternoon at 16-14. Warren Allen working against Cherry, giving up to Spriggs. On the right side, this is Nathan Moeller. Allen drives around Cherry, lays it in from the right side. That's 4 points for Warren Allen. Make that 6 points now for Warren Allen. And we're tied at 16. Cherry over to Gerner on the right side. Nadav Gerner, the freshman reserve point guard, bounces in the post to DeAndre Johnson. Johnson backs in. Johnson up with the left hand, rolls it in. It's a pretty little hook shot from DeAndre Johnson. He's got 4 points. Saints lead by 2. Allen off to Kazmarek, left side. Kazmarek gives it up to John Kerr. Kerr drives, layup good. John Kerr has been relatively quiet in the early going today. That is 6 points for the senior now. He was on the bench for a few minutes as well. Nadav Gerner on the right wing. Over to Maxwell-Topia. He fakes the shot. Now puts it on the floor. Down the lane, he pulls up, out to Josh Cherry. Cherry, an open look from the baseline, misses. And the rebound goes to St. Ambrose. Kazmarek back at the midcourt circle, dribbles off to the left side. Here's Nathan Moeller. Moeller pulls up from the elbow and knocks it down. First 2 points of the game for Nathan Moeller, freshman from Fulton, Illinois. St. Ambrose is back in front. They've held the lead for the majority of this first half so far. Carlos Tobias into DeAndre Johnson, off his fingertips and stolen by John Kerr, but taken right back by Rihanna Maxwell-Topia. He loses the ball, but this time it's the result of a foul. And I believe that is called on Kazmarek, and that's Kazmarek's third foul. 3 fouls on Dylan Kazmarek. St. Ambrose as a team has just 4. But he heads back to the bench. Friel is back in for him. Carter Fahey is in for Josh Cherry. .8:34 on the first half clock. Shot clock is set at 20 as the officials gather together for a quick conversation before the inbounds play here. Nadav Gerner into Carter Fahey. Out to Tobias. 3-pointer, good. Carlos Tobias, the sharpshooter, has his first 3 of the game. And the Saints lead by a point. Tobias had a good run a few weeks ago. Scored double-digit points off the bench in 3 consecutive games as Moeller is there with the answer. Moeller puts St. Ambrose back in front. 22-21, 4 points off the bench for Moeller today. Tobias has struggled a little bit offensively the last couple of games, but good to see him knock down his first attempt of the game. Carter Fahey is not able to do the same as he misses on the 3. Well, that wasn't his first attempt. He's already scored. Here come the Bees with a 1-point lead. Nearly taken away from Moeller. He gives it up to Kerr. Hand off to Ben Scholes. Scholes gives it back to Kerr. 3-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Gerner. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half. Here is Gerner on the left side. Gerner puts the ball on the floor, kicks it into the corner. This is Rihanna Maxwell-Topia. Open look, but he missed the 3 just short. Saints have gone scoreless on back-to-back possessions. See if they can hold St. Ambrose off the board on this possession. They can. John Kerr is called for the travel. Kerr is claiming that his wrist was hit. Whether it was or wasn't, the travel may have come first. Definitely took a step there, so it is a turnover. Here comes Gerner. Gerner bounces it down to Tobias. Cross court, Maxwell Topia. Gerner once again at the top. He resets. Bounce to Johnson. DeAndre Johnson takes a dribble, and he's called for the walk. And like Kerr on the other end, DeAndre Johnson seems to think he may have been fouled before the travel, but same call on both ends. 6:54 to go. First half, close game. St. Ambrose went on a 6-0 run to make their lead 14-7 at one point. That's the one time either team enjoyed something resembling a big lead. St. Francis scored the next 9 points. And it's been within one possession ever since. Here's Michael Williams for three, trying to make it a 2-score game, but he missed it. And the rebound goes to DeAndre Johnson. Gerner into the corner for Maxwell Topia. Three-pointer is short. May have been tipped by Moeller, not sure. Good closeout defense by Moeller there. Now Moeller on the offensive end, bounces once, works his feet, misses the layup, and a battle for the rebound is won by Michael Williams. He's blocked by DeAndre Johnson. Second block of the game for Johnson. Here comes Gerner. Down to Tobias. Tobias thought about it. Instead, he starts to drive. Now up in the air. He's blocked out of bounds by John Kerr. Tobias got perhaps a bit overzealous that time as the Saints go back to their starters. Joey Bajemi, Eric Ting, and Russell Tillery all return to the game, as does Lewis Holy. So all 5 starters are on the floor. .22 on the shot clock for Eric Ting. Inbounded to Tillery. Bajemi right back to Tillery. Joey Bajemi on the left side bounces down low to Holy. Good ball movement. Tillery for three, missed it long, and the rebound goes to Ben Scholes. Saints made the Bees zone defense work that time, not able to get points out of it. Holy nearly comes up with a steal, but the Bees are able to keep the loose ball, and John Kerr is fouled going to the basket. Kerr will get 2 free throws. First foul on Lewis Holy. 2 shots for Kerr, a good foul shooter. He's 0 for 1 today, 77% on the season. He's got 7 points now. Second shot is good. 24-21. Saints are going through a scoring drought here. They haven't connected since Carlos Tobias' three-pointer, which was about 3 minutes ago, game time. Here's Carter Fahey driving with the left hand. To the basket, blocked by Moeller. Kerr's outlet pass to Williams, sent ahead to Scholes. Ben Scholes lays it in. 26-21, 6 straight points for the Fighting Bees. Here's Eric Ting. Ting out to Holy. Three-point attempt. Holy way off. Lewis Holy doesn't take a lot of them. Usually a good three-point shooter, though, when he does get an open look. He had been 2 of 5 this season. Shot at a high percentage last year as well. That one, though, wide open, wasn't close. Williams finds an open shooter. That's Friel, and Jake Friel hits the three. Timeout called by Ryan Marks. 4:42 to play in the first half. 29-21, St. Ambrose has their biggest lead of the game. Saints are now going on about 4 minutes without scoring. They led 21-20 after the Carlos Tobias three-pointer. Since then, St. Ambrose has not played lights-out offense. I don't know if you can play lights-out offense. Usually that's applied to the defense. In any case, the lights are on when St. Ambrose has the ball. And not dominant on the offensive end right now. St. Francis has continued to play solid defense, but when you go 4 minutes without scoring, 9 points over those same 4 minutes. Look pretty good. Saints have had some good looks from three-point range. They're not making them fall right now. They're just 3 of 13 from beyond the three-point line. So we'll see if there's an emphasis on getting the ball inside here. Joey Bajemi holds it up top over to Eric Ting. Ting works down the lane, kicks it out to Tillery. Russell Tillery back to Ting. Ting fakes the three, now takes the three, way off. Another missed three-pointer for St. Francis. They're now 3 of 14, and that was Eric Ting's first miss. One of the top three-point shooters in the country. Good backdoor cut. Ben Scholes is able to finish at the rim. 6 points for Scholes. It's an 11-0 run for the Bees and a 10-point lead. Here's Eric Ting. Ting drives left side. He's bumped down the floor. Just the 5th foul on St. Ambrose. So they still have 1 to give with 3:54 to play in the first half. Here's Ting to inbound. Fires it for Joey Bajemi. Carter Fahey drives. Fahey pulls up in the lane, now kicks it out. Russell Tillery back to Fahey, wide open from the top of the key. Misses on the three-pointer. Holy working for the rebound, and he grabs it. Great rebound by Lewis Holy. Here's Bajemi, back over to Holy. Holy inside with 2 defenders in his face. He lays it in. Great possession for Lewis Holy. A very impressive offensive rebound, and then he scored in a double team, snapping a 5-minute scoreless drought for the Fighting Saints. They're back with an 8. Here's Ben Scholes driving left side, pull up with the right hand, floats it in. 8 points for Scholes. He and Kerr each have 8. And Friel's got 7 for the Fighting Bees. Joey Bajemi, and an offensive foul is called on Carter Fahey. Fahey passed the ball to Bajemi and then leaned into the defender with his shoulder, moving screen for all intents and purposes. And the Saints cough it up. 3 minutes to play in the half. Here's Jake Friel. Friel gets around Ting, passes out to Scholes. Three-pointer, got it. Everything's falling for St. Ambrose right now. They're shooting nearly 60% from the field in this game. Meanwhile, St. Francis has missed a lot of open shots. See if they can get hot from the field. Tillery misses on the layup, but he's fouled.
St. Ambrose foul number 14, Will Spriggs, his first, team 6.
First foul on Spriggs. St. Ambrose has hit their limit. Both teams have. Free throws on fouls the rest of the way as Tillery makes the first. 5 points for Russ Tillery, who had that great run earlier in the game. And in the span of about a minute, he picked up an assist, a rebound, a steal, and 4 points. And now he's got 6 points for the game as he makes both free throws. Charles and Johnson are back in for Fahey and Holy. Will Spriggs walks it across the timeline. Spriggs directing his teammates, creates some space. Working against Tillery. Gets the screen, passes to the left side. Friel. Up top, John Kerr for 3. Short, and the rebound goes to Ting. Eric Ting is on the run. Ting around the screen from Johnson, drives the right side, kicks it to the right for Tillery. Tillery misses the 3. Rebound is on the floor, kicked out of bounds, and it was kicked by E.J. Charles. We've got an injured man down for the Fighting Bees. Michael Williams is grabbing his right leg, and so play stops so they can take a look at him, although he's helped up. And he hobbles off that pain. He'll stay in the game. Well, will he? He will not. Moeller's going to come back in for Nathan Moeller is coming back in for Michael Williams. And Ray Shovlin decides to take the chance to call a timeout. 1:59 to play first half, full timeout on the floor, 36-25. St. Ambrose has the lead behind 11 points from Ben Scholes. St. Francis went 5 minutes without scoring after a very close start to this game. Two teams were trading baskets early on, but lately St. Ambrose has been knocking down most of their shots. St. Francis can't hit anything at the moment, just 32% from the field over the first 18 minutes of this contest. And that's really the story of the game. That's all you really need to see is the two shooting percentages. 32 again for the Saints, 56 for St. Ambrose. And the Saints are just 3 of 16 on three-pointers. St. Ambrose, playing their tight zone defense, has allowed the Fighting Saints some open looks from the outside, but nothing's really falling, at least not lately. They hit them earlier in the game, and that's what allowed them to stay in it for the first 15 minutes or so. And not to say that they're not in it right now, but they've got a lot of work to do. Coming out of the timeout, St. Ambrose brings Spriggs, Kerr, Friel, Moeller, and Scholes. And St. Francis will counter with Johnson, Charles, Tillery, Ting, and Bujemi. Bees basketball. St. Ambrose will have John Kerr inbounding. He gets it into Ben Scholes in the backcourt as the Saints back off. Scholes gives it up top to Nathan Moeller. Over on the left side, it's Jake Friel. Friel gives it up to Kerr. Down low, Moeller. Moeller, turnaround jumper off the back iron. No. Rebound to Tillery. Here's Eric Ting on the drive. Ting reverse layup, good. Nice drive by Eric Ting. Saints needed that one. Back within single digits. And we'll see if they can come up with another big stop late in this first half. Friel working against Ting. Gives it up top to Scholes. Scholes gets the screen, going right to left. Pull up, turnaround jumper, way off. Rebound bounces out to E.J. Charles. Under a minute to play in the half. Saints are trying to end this one on a run. Scored on their last possession. Trying to make it 2 in a row. Eric Ting leans in and misses the jumper. Offensive rebound, E.J. Charles. Charles out to Tillery. Tillery drives left side, off the glass, no good. Looking for the foul on Ben Scholes, but there was no call. So St. Ambrose gets it back. This will, in all likelihood, be their last possession of the half. So if the Saints can get one more stop, they can cut the lead to 6 or 7 into halftime. Friel gives it up to Will Spriggs. Spriggs jump stop in the paint, but it's stripped and taken away by Ting. Eric Ting leads the charge, out to Joey Bujemi. Bujemi back to Ting, and now the Saints slow it down a little bit. Spriggs speeds him up, and Spriggs is called for the foul on Eric Ting. 11.5 seconds on the clock, and Ting is headed to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. Big opportunity here for St. Francis. Down at Maxwell, Topia comes in for E.J. Charles. Ryan Marks doesn't want Charles to pick up a cheap foul on this last possession. Here's Ting's first free throw. It rims out. Rebound to John Kerr. And now St. Ambrose can strike last in the half. It's Scholes. Scholes step back, long three, good. And that's how the first half ends. A rocky reversal of fortune for St. Francis. Down by 9 points with 11 seconds left. They had a chance for 2 from the free throw line. Instead, Ting misses the front end of the 1-and-1, and Scholes comes down the other end, knocks down a 3. So instead of a 7 or 8 point game at halftime, it's a 12-point lead for St. Ambrose, and the Saints have their work cut out for them in the second half. We'll bring you that second half in about 15 minutes. Right now, time for a break. 39-27. St. Ambrose leads at halftime. We're closing in on the second half here at St. Francis. 39-27 our score. St. Ambrose leads the hosts. Terry Bonadonna with you here for another 20 minutes of basketball, which will start in just a moment. Let's take a look at some of the stats from half number one. St. Ambrose has the 12-point lead, and I mentioned this late in the first half, but it really holds true. If you look at the entire stat sheet, there's only one thing that really stands out, and that is field goal percentage. Other than that, the two teams have been very even. Identical 4 of 5 marks from the free throw line. Essentially the same rebounds, essentially the same on turnovers, points off of turnovers, points in the paint. It's all the same. One difference in this game, from the field, St. Ambrose is shooting 53%. St. Francis is shooting 32%. And on three-pointers, it's even worse, 38% for St. Ambrose and 19 for St. Francis. And actually, now that I think about it, maybe that isn't worse. 19% difference on the three-pointers, and on the field goals, a 21% difference overall. Well, the ratio is better. Anyway, leading scorer so far in this game is Ben Scholes with 14 points. John Kerr has 8 points and 8 rebounds for the Fighting Bees. Fighting Saints are led by Russell Tillery and Joey Bujemi. Each of them have 6 points. Tillery's really had a good all-around game today for the Saints. He leads the team in points, rebounds with 4, and assists with 2. He's also got a steal so far today. So he's played well. The Saints, as a team, need to figure out a better way to get the ball in the basket, because other than that, they've played, again, pretty much the same games. It's just the field goal percentages that have made the difference in this one. And St. Ambrose also got a big boost at the end of the first half when the Saints were at the free throw line in the waning seconds with a chance to make it a 7-point halftime deficit. Instead, they missed the front end of a 1-on-1. St. Ambrose came quickly down the other way and hit a buzzer-beating three-pointer. And so it's a 12-point game as we kick off the second half. The Saints in possession, going now from left to right. Eric Ting holds the ball. He passes off to Russell Tillery. E.J. Charles is out there for the Saints, as is DeAndre Johnson. Changing course from the starting lineups as E.J. Charles fires a 3 and misses. Rebound goes to Warren Allen. Carter Fahey and Lewis Holy, the starters, remain on the bench to start this second half. There's also a change to St. Ambrose's lineup. Nathan Moeller is out there, along with Jake Friel. And there's some clear reasons for that as Ben Scholes hits on the reverse layup. Scholes now has 16 points as the lead balloons to 14. This is the biggest lead of the game for St. Ambrose. Joey Bujemi fires a 3 and makes it. Third made three-pointer of the game for Bujemi. He's 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, and he's got 9 points. Friel is in right now because Dylan Kazmarek has 3 fouls. Nathan Moeller is in as he loses the ball. It's loose in the backcourt. John Kerr is able to chase it down. Good effort defensively by both Charles and Bujemi there, although nothing comes of it. St. Ambrose is left scrambling a little bit. 5 on the shot clock. Warren Allen, short jumper, misses. Rebound, held ball. It's going to stay with St. Ambrose. The reason that Nathan Moeller is on the floor is because Michael Williams left late in the first half with a right leg injury, and he hobbled off the court during halftime, did not go into the locker room with his teammates, so he's still being looked at. Hopefully he's all right, but by the looks of things, we're not going to be seeing him in this game anytime soon. Warren Allen against Charles, kicks it out to John Kerr. Kerr drives, kicks, Friel, layup is good. 9 points for Jake Friel, who's had a really nice impact off the bench. Johnson gives it up to Bujemi. Joey Bujemi picks up his dribble, fires out to Charles. Charles elects not to shoot initially. Now he does fire the 3 and knocks it down. Charles looked like he was content to dribble away from the three-pointer, but Warren Allen just backed off entirely. Left him a good 10 feet of free space, and Charles said, if you're going to give me that much room, I'll take the shot, and he makes it. Saints went 3 of 16 on three-pointers in the first half. They're 2 of 2 here in the second half. And they're back within 10. Allen's pass goes off the back of Eric Ting, and the loose ball is picked up by Bujemi. Joey Bujemi, amidst a pair of defenders, lays it in. Saints have come out for the second half, fired up, playing much more energetic basketball over the last 2.5 minutes. They trail by 8 points. There was a 12-point deficit at halftime, 14 right at the start of the second half. That's been their biggest deficit. But again, it's down to 8, and they've been playing very well on defense lately. Moeller for 3, air ball. Allen tried to save it, but he couldn't. Dylan Kazmarek checks back in for St. Ambrose. So they'll go small here. Kazmarek has only played about 7 minutes so far. The starter picked up 2 quick fouls. Sat on the bench for a while, came back and picked up another one. Here's Bujemi over to Tillery. Tillery lobs it for Johnson, who's nowhere near his intended target. Easy pickings for Warren Allen. Allen passes to Scholes, and Scholes is fouled by Charles, who thought he had a clean strip there. But E.J. Charles instead picks up his 3rd foul. First foul on St. Francis this half. 2 free throws for Scholes. First one is good. Scholes is a perfect 3 of 3 from the line today. He's had a big game. Ben Scholes came in averaging 10.5 points per contest. He's already at 18 today. The lead is 10. Here's Eric Ting. Fires it over to Bujemi. 3-pointer, short. Rebounded by Allen. Warren Allen hands it off to Jake Friel. Friel bounces in the post. Scholes turnaround off the backboard, no good. Charles grabs the rebound, but has it stripped from behind by John Kerr. Kerr's 3-pointer is on the money. And just like that, we've got a 13-point game. It was down to 8, but 5 quick points for St. Ambrose. That one off a steal, the 3-pointer from Kerr. Now the Saints look to respond. Bujemi up to Tillery. Russell Tillery drives. Tillery off the backboard, no. Looking for his own rebound. He hits the ground hard as a foul is called on St. Ambrose. First foul on John Kerr. First foul this half called against St. Ambrose. 15:44 on the clock. Shot clock at 20 for Eric Ting and company. Ting fires it into Bujemi. Bujemi fakes the shot, gets the screen, goes to his right and passes to Tillery. Russell Tillery down low to DeAndre Johnson. Johnson going one-on-one with Torrey here. Johnson up with the left hand and in. Good post position for DeAndre Johnson. And Torrey didn't stand a chance on that possession. Here's Kerr over to Friel. Into Torrey, and now he'll try to do the same to Johnson as he backs in. Torrey turns around, comes up short off the glass. Johnson grabs the rebound, Charles grabs the rebound and draws the foul. Foul is called on Patrick Torrey. It's the second on St. Ambrose, first on Torrey. 11-point game, the Saints trail with the ball. Here's E.J. Charles into DeAndre Johnson, and Johnson is called for the offensive foul. Torrey took the contact, fell to the ground, and it's a St. Francis turnover. That's the first foul on Johnson. Under 15 minutes to play in the second half. Dylan Kazmarek walks it across half court, shadowed by Russell Tillery. He bounces it off to Ben Scholes. Charles jumps the passing lane, nearly takes it away. Now he pokes it away from Kerr again, out of bounds. 16 on the shot clock. It'll stay with St. Ambrose. Nice effort from Charles there. Came close to the steal twice. Succeeded in knocking it loose from Kerr, but not able to take possession. Here comes Ben Scholes. Scholes walks into a 3-pointer off to the left, and the rebound tracked down by St. Ambrose. Kazmarek over to Jake Friel. Friel dribbles along the baseline, and he's hacked by Russell Tillery. 14:25 to go. 48-37 St. Ambrose. And the Saints call to the bench. Carter Fahey, Lewis Holy, and Carlos Tobias all coming in. And now Nadav Gerner will join the fray as well. Both Gerner and Tobias were on the court only briefly in the first half. Each man played 6 minutes. Bench has not been used quite as much in this game by Ryan Marks. Hasn't been quite as effective as we've become accustomed to seeing in total, as Kerr picks up the dribble in the corner, gives it into a cutting Will Spriggs. Now Spriggs working against Tobias. Tobias falls, Spriggs shoots and misses. Rebounded by Fahey. So far today, St. Ambrose's bench has outscored St. Francis's bench. That's almost unheard of in a Fighting Saints game. Tobias misses the three-pointer. Long rebound goes out to Spriggs. Dylan Kazmarek holds on the left wing. Gerner picks him up. Bounced into John Kerr. Kerr throws up a wild shot, banks it in, and draws the foul. John Kerr has 13 points, an outstanding player, one of the best in the CCAC. And sometimes you catch the breaks. He was out of control on that shot. It dropped in for him, and he got himself to the free throw line. It looked like the free throw line was the end goal of that attempt, but he makes it a three-point play. Nice work by Kerr. 14 points now for the senior. And the lead is back up to 14 for St. Ambrose. It was 12 at halftime. Saints cut it down to as few as 8. But St. Ambrose has built it back up, matching their game high with this 14-point lead. Here's Tobias trying to cut it to 11. He does. 6 points for Carlos Tobias on a pair of three-pointers. Saints are hanging around with 13 and some change to play in this game. Kazmarek back at half court. Off to the right side. Picks it up. Now picked up by Holy. Loses his balance and gets rid of it before the travel to Ben Scholes. Scholes finds an open shooter. That's Torrey. Misses off the front iron, and the rebound goes to the Saints. Joey Bajemi to Lewis Holy. Holy bounces to the corner for Gerner. His three-pointer is short. Saints have picked up the pace on the three-point shooting here in the second half, but still not making all of the good looks that they've gotten. They're going to need to shoot at a higher percentage if they want to complete this comeback. That's thrown away, and we're going the other way. Spriggs looking in for Kerr. Kerr wanted a foul called. He's not going to get it. Warren Allen is back in. John Kerr will get a breather. We'll see if the Saints can gain some ground with St. Ambrose's leading scorer on the bench. Here's Tobias. Lobbed over for Fahey. Handed back to Tobias. Nearly lost it, but he sticks with it. Down low to Bajemi. Joey Bajemi in the post. Turnaround off the backboard and in. It's a rare position for Joey Bajemi. He does most of his work from the outside. But Bajemi playing the forward position on that possession. He's able to score in the post, and now the deficit is back to single digits. And it's thrown away by Torrey. Out of bounds, Saints basketball. Miscommunication on that possession for the Fighting Bees. And with that, Torrey checks out. John Kerr out of the game for less than a minute, right back in there. Kerr and Ben Scholes have combined on 32 of St. Ambrose's 51 points in this game. They're both on the floor. Tobias over to Bajemi. Back to Carlos Tobias around the screen from Holy. Tobias works his way inside, blocked by Warren Allen. Rebound poked out of bounds, last touched by St. Ambrose. Actually, the ball never reached the sideline, but Will Spriggs' foot did as it came to a sliding halt. And they tried to save that one. Spriggs checks out. Fellow freshman Jake Friel back in. Bajemi inbounds to Tobias. Right back to Joey Bajemi. Carter Fahey from midcourt sets things up. Lobbed over to Holy. Bajemi gets the screen from Holy. Now fires to the cutting Lewis Holy, who lays it in. Lewis Holy from Joey Bajemi. It's a 7-point game. This is as close as we've been in quite a while. As close as it's been in the second half. 4 points for Lewis Holy. Here's Ben Scholes. Over to Dylan Kazmarek. Quiet day for Kazmarek. He fires it off to Kerr. John Kerr steps back, wanted the shot. Instead, he passes it off to Kazmarek. Shot clock is at 6. Kazmarek pulls up at the free throw line. Turnaround jumper misses. Tobias grabs the rebound. Here's Carter Fahey bouncing it over to Tobias. Carlos Tobias bounces to Lewis Holy, who holds outside. Holy bounces once, gives it to Fahey. Now Nadav Gerner puts it on the floor, driving with the right hand. He's blocked but fouled. 10:46 on the clock. The Saints have made a game of it, 51-44. They've cut this St. Ambrose lead in half. And now Nadav Gerner's at the line for 2 shots. Gerner getting his first free throw attempts today. Has hit him at 83% on the season. And he adds to that percentage, up to 84 now, as he makes that one. Gerner has his first point. It's a 6-point game. Down by just 2 possessions. It was 14 points just a few minutes ago. And it'll stay at 6 as Gerner misses a free throw for just the 4th time this year. Here's Ben Scholes. Up top to Warren Allen. Allen dribbling with the left hand, picks it up, hands it off to Dylan Kazmarek. Kazmarek at the top of the key, hounded by Gerner, has to give it up. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Offensive foul called on Allen. Pushed off on Lewis Holy. Allen doesn't like it. I imagine nobody ever does when a foul is called against them. He disagrees with that call, though. Timeout called by St. Ambrose. 10:24 to play, 51-45. The visiting St. Ambrose Fighting Bees lead the hosts St. Francis Fighting Saints by 6. And this is about where the last game was played, last game between these two teams on December 16th. St. Ambrose was able to jump out to a lead and hold it pretty much the way they have today. It was a final score of 61-56. So a 5-point victory for St. Ambrose, who came into play today at 7-2. I've talked about this already on the broadcast, but a lot of non-conference games were played back in December against conference opponents. CCAC season officially was delayed until January, but teams needed opponents, and with all the travel restrictions they've got going on right now, it was important to find close-by rivals to schedule games against, and so a lot of games were played during the non-conference season against conference opponents, and that included this one between the Saints and Bees back on December 16th. This one, though, is a CCAC game, and these are 2 of the 5 unbeaten teams in the CCAC right now. There haven't been a lot of games. And when I say 2 of 5, I'm only including teams that have played games. There are 4 other teams that have also not lost a conference game because they haven't played one. But St. Ambrose is 2-0 in conference play. St. Francis 1-0. You don't know how many games any of these teams are going to play. A lot of games have already been postponed or canceled. There are going to be plenty more to come. We know that. So getting off to a good start in conference season is imperative if you want to hold on to your place in the standings. This is a big game between 2 of the teams that have been more competitive in non-conference play. Jake Friel toes the line and comes up with a steal. Great hands, great feet by Friel there, but not a great pass from Warren Allen looking for Dylan Kazmarek. He fires it out of bounds and turns it over. Saints basketball down by 6 at the halfway point of the second half. Carter Fahey picks up his dribble, turns to face the basket, and passes off to Carlos Tobias. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Tillery. Up top to Fahey, 3-pointer, got it. A 3-pointer for Carter Fahey. He's got 5 points, and the Saints are within 3. This is as close as it's been since it was 24-21 back in the first half. And if they can come up with a stop here, the Saints will get the ball back with a chance to tie the score. Kazmarek backs it up. Crosses over to the right side. Kazmarek picks up his dribble. Gerner knocks it free, so Kazmarek gets his dribble back. 4 on the shot clock. Fights off a pass to Allen. 3-pointer, way off. Shot clock violation. Allen missed the rim. You can't really blame Warren Allen there. That's his first three-point attempt of the year. And that's not a shot he's going to be asked to take very often, but the shot clock was at 1. Didn't have much of a choice but to throw it up. And here comes St. Francis, down by only 3 points. They could tie the score on this possession. They led 21-20 before they went on a 5-minute scoreless drought. Tillery misses on the jumper, rebounded by Kerr. And ever since then, it's been all St. Ambrose. They've led by double figures for a good portion of the time, including their 12-point halftime lead. But they are trying to hold off this furious rally from St. Francis right now. John Kerr steps back. He's fouled. Kerr is fouled by Carter Fahey. Fourth foul on Fahey. 5 on the team. E.J. Charles is in a spot of foul trouble himself. He's got 3 of them. He comes on for Fahey. Here's Friel. Jake Friel passes to Ben Scholes. Scholes sends it over to John Kerr. Kerr with 10 to shoot. Pull-up jumper from the right elbow. Misses short. Rebound tapped into the hands of Jake Friel. Gerner reaches his hands in and forces a tie-up. Great hands by Gerner. He just reached in and grabbed that ball away from Friel. Possession arrow favors St. Ambrose here. Or does it? No, they're going the other way. St. Francis basketball, 8:19 to play in the second half. Fighting Bees lead the Fighting Saints by 3. Nadav Gerner was able to force the turnover by taking that ball away from Jake Friel. The possession arrow was facing the wrong directions. They've got it sorted out now. It is St. Francis basketball. Here's Johnson backing in. Johnson up with the left hand. No good. Rebounded by Kerr. Good defense by Kerr on that possession. And he completed it with the rebound. He's got a double-double. He's had a double-double in all but, I think, 2 games this year. This is Kerr backing up, leaning into E.J. Charles. He takes the contact nicely. Possession goes on. Spriggs drives. Spriggs around a couple of defenders, lays it in. Beautiful drive by Will Spriggs. Gerner gives it up to Tobias. Down to the corner, Russell Tillery. Tillery gets a screen. Bounced in for Johnson. DeAndre Johnson, one dribble, up and in and off the backboard. DeAndre Johnson has 8 points for himself, right around his season average. We're down to the final 7 or so minutes here in this game. It's a close one. It's a drive from Friel. Friel pulls up, turn around, floats it up with the right hand and misses. Rebound tipped up into the air. Friel follows with the basket. Kerr tipped that ball up to Friel, but effectively Friel got his own rebound and put it back in. Great game for the freshman Friel, 11 points off the bench, and they've needed him a lot here in the second half with Michael Williams sitting out with the injury. There's a steal for St. Ambrose. Here comes Kerr, and he's fouled by Gerner. Williams, by the way, did return to the sideline in street clothes and a walking boot, so he's obviously done for the day. Timeout called, 6:35 to play in the second half. St. Ambrose calls the 32nd timeout, leading by 5. They've led most of the way. They led early. St. Francis fought back. They took the lead. They were ahead as recently as 21-20. St. Ambrose followed that up with a big run as the Fighting Saints couldn't find the basket for a while. But this second half has been very competitive, and St. Francis has fought hard to get themselves back in it. They were down by as many as 14 points. Back to within 3. They have not closed in beyond that barrier. It's a 5-point game right now, but Fighting Saints have gotten a lot of this damage done with their reserves on the floor, particularly in the backcourt. Nadav Gerner and Carlos Tobias have done some great work. They've shuffled their big men all game as they usually do, so you wouldn't think of stamina being an issue for those guys. But one of the toughest things always when you're down big, even if you do have the talent to come back, a lot of times you're down by double digits late in the game. You burn up so much energy trying to get back into the game that it becomes difficult to get over the hump. But Ryan Marks has continued to shuffle his players in and out, so you wouldn't think that the energy level would be an issue. In fact, if anything, St. Ambrose might have bigger concerns with that. A little short-handed because of the Williams injury earlier in the game. Kazmarek's been in and out of the lineup because of foul trouble. It's a 5-point game. It's St. Ambrose ball with 27 seconds on the shot clock as we come out of this timeout. Scholes looking to get it in. Fires up top to Moeller. Here's Will Spriggs on the left wing. Spriggs gets the screen. Fires back to the cutting Moeller. Blocked by E.J. Charles. Ball is loose and secured by DeAndre Johnson. That was a big-time block for E.J. Charles. And now here come the Saints with a chance to once again cut it to a one-possession deficit. Joey Bajemi's got 13 points, his 4th straight game in double figures. He gives it up to DeAndre Johnson. Now Eric Ting. Ting's been quiet on the offensive end today, trying to change that. He knocks down the 3, and it's a 2-point game. 7 points for the senior point guard Ting. 55-53, 5:55 on the clock. Here's Friel. Friel trying to go up and under and is not able to get by DeAndre Johnson. Saints can take the lead here. Joey Bajemi along the baseline. Bajemi is blocked. Ben Scholes got his hand on the ball. Now a baseball pass down the floor, and Eric Ting jumps in front and takes it away. Ting is fouled by John Kerr, and Eric Ting takes a hard fall. It's been a wild couple of minutes here. The last few possessions have been out of control. It looked like a technical foul was called as Eric Ting, still lying on the ground, hasn't been able to pull himself up yet. And I don't know if the foul was that malicious from Kerr, but just the positions of the two men as the foul occurred. Ting took a hard tumble to the ground. He's been on the ground the whole time, and he's ready to get up, but his teammates left him to fend for himself. Finally, DeAndre Johnson and Joey Bajemi come over to help him back up, and now the officials will talk about the call here as the two sides go to their bench. 5:34 to go here, 55-53. St. Ambrose has the lead. Foul was called on John Kurtz, his 3rd foul. One of the officials indicated a technical, and I'm not sure what that was for or who it was on. But they're getting it all sorted out down on the court right now. As it stands, assuming that's just a personal foul, St. Ambrose has not yet hit their limit, so it would not yet be free throws for Eric Ting. The technical foul, if I'm reading this correctly, is called after the play on St. Ambrose. It's a personal foul on John Kerr. So I didn't see what precipitated the technical foul, but apparently called against Will Spriggs. So the double foul means that St. Ambrose is up to 6 for the game. So still, they're not going to get free throws for the foul, but for the technical, they will. Or will not. Looks like they won't. Okay, so the technical was after the play. Double foul, 1 on Kerr, 1 on Spriggs. They're at 6 for the half now. And a foul was added to St. Francis as well. So it's double technical, that's why no free throws. Double technical plus the personal foul. I think that's all sorted out. Here's Eric Ting on the drive. He's fouled again. And this time he will go to the free throw line with a chance to tie the score. St. Ambrose is now over the limit, but that was a shooting foul, so it'll be 2 attempts here for Ting. Ting's first free throw is good. He's 1 of 2 from the line today. I take that back. He's 3 of 4 from the line. Don't want to sell him short. 8 points for Eric Ting. Dylan Kazmarek checks in for Will Spriggs. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia comes on for E.J. Charles, who now has 4 fouls. He was the one who was given the technical for St. Francis along with Will Spriggs for St. Ambrose. It's part of that double technical. Second foul shot is good for Ting. So he makes them both. We're tied at 55. First time we've been tied in a long time. I believe it was 18-18 the last time the score was even. Kazmarek over to Allen. Here's Ben Schultz. He's had a big game, but quiet in the second half. He drives here. Contact and an offensive foul call. Ben Schultz whistled for the offensive foul. And the Bees turn it over. They've been imploding these last 5 minutes or so. And now St. Francis can take their first lead since the 8-minute mark of the first half. Joey Bajemi calls timeout. Couldn't find anybody to get it into with St. Ambrose applying the full court pressure. So 5:06 to play. Second half. Tight ball game. As tight as they get. 55-55 is our score. And this second half has belonged to St. Francis. They were down by 12 at halftime, down by as many as 14 relatively early in the second half. But Saints have fought back. They've gotten good contributions from Joey Bajemi, who's got 13 points, the only man in double figures for the Fighting Saints. Eric Ting is up to 9 points for the game now. DeAndre Johnson has 8. Bajemi has scored in bunches this year. His first 4 games of the year, he scored a total of 70 combined points in those 4 games, double figures in each one. Then the next 4 games, didn't score double figures in any of them, and he had just 23 total points. So 70 points in his first 4 games, 23 only in his next 4 games, and now he's on another great 4-game stretch. He has scored 52 over the last 4 games, and again, double figures in all of them. Shooting was the problem in the first half for St. Francis. Here in the second half, they've gone 10 of 20 from the field. They were just 10 of 31 in the first half. Meanwhile, St. Ambrose red hot the whole first half. They're just 6 of 19 shooting the ball here in the second. And as I said at halftime, it's been pretty easy to trace the patterns in this game. One team has shot the ball well, the other team has not. Now here in the second half, the opposite is true. The team that shot the ball well hasn't, the team that didn't has, and here we are tied. The numbers line up. 5 minutes to go. Here's Eric Ting. Rihanna Maxwell-Topia up top to Joey Bajemi. Over to Eric Ting on the left side. Russell Tillery taking their time on offense. Half the shot clock has been used up. Here's Rihanna Maxwell-Topia unchecked in the paint. Misses the turnaround jumper. And there's the 12th rebound of the game for John Kerr. Jake Friel backs it out. Hand it off to Kerr. Over to the right side, Dylan Kazmarek. Now Ben Schultz on the right. 4.5 minutes to play in the game. A kicking violation is called against Joey Bajemi. That resets the shot clock to 20 for St. Ambrose, who can reclaim the lead on this possession. They were able to get the stop after St. Francis had a chance on their last possession to take the lead for the first time in the second half. Now St. Ambrose can reclaim it. It's Kerr against Maxwell-Topia. He scores and draws the foul. Big play for John Kerr right as his team needed it. 16 points for Kerr. And now to the line for potentially one more. And we're back to a 3-point game. Ting and Bajemi take it down the floor for the Saints. Can't afford another empty possession here. They fought so hard to come back for the tie, but now they find themselves behind again. Joey Bajemi gets the screen going to the right, passes over to Tillery. Just 10 on the shot clock. Tillery dribbles inside, nearly stripped. Back out to Bajemi. He drives, pulls up at the free throw line, tries to draw the foul, misses the shot, and no foul called. St. Ambrose now has a chance to add to their lead. They were on the ropes for a while, it seemed there, but a basket here would make it a 2-score lead again. Friel looks up top, didn't have anybody there. Now he dribbles around a screen to the right side. Friel from the elbow misses the jumper, but he's fouled. .3:35 on the clock. Second foul called on Tillery. It's the 9th on the Saints. 2 free throws here for Jake Friel. 11 points in the game for Friel. He misses on the first free throw. Friel is 77% from the line for the season. Carlos Tobias is in for Russell Tillery on the St. Francis side. Friel trying to make it a 2-score game. He misses both shots. Big break for St. Francis. See if they can capitalize. Eric Ting directs Carter Fahey down low. Bounced over to DeAndre Johnson. Here's Ting on the drive. Ting works his way inside. Misses on the runner. Rebound to Johnson, and we've got a held ball as John Kerr reaches in, trying to take it away from Johnson. This time the possession arrow faces St. Ambrose. Saints come up empty. They have hit a wall offensively. They haven't scored in 3 minutes now. It's their second long scoring drought of the game. Last time they did score, it was to tie it up at 55. Nadav Gerner is back in for Eric Ting. Here's Dylan Kazmarek. Kazmarek hounded by Tobias, gives it up to Kerr. Now the cutting Scholes, misses a wild one, and the rebound goes to Johnson. Here's Carter Fahey. Fahey steps back beyond the three-point line, gives it to the point guard Gerner. Johnson to Fahey. Carter Fahey at the top of the key, fires inside to Johnson against a double team. Johnson puts it up and misses. Rebound goes to Warren Allen. We've held at this same score for a while now, 58-55. Jake Friel out to Kerr. Friel spins around Gerner, picked up by Fahey, works his way inside, lays it up and in. Nice drive by Jake Friel. 13 points for Jake Friel to 5-point lead for St. Ambrose. And now the Saints need a bucket. It's been over 4 minutes since they've scored. Fahey at the free throw line, gives it back to Tobias. Three-pointer, misses short, an air ball. Johnson battling for the rebound, he wins it. Johnson takes one dribble and he's fouled by Allen. Second foul called on Warren Allen. It's the team's 9th. And DeAndre Johnson heads to the free throw line. E.J. Charles is in for Carter Fahey. And a timeout is called by St. Francis. 1:54 to go, 60-55. St. Ambrose. It's been a game of twists and turns here at the Sullivan Center. Originally part of a doubleheader. The women's teams were going to play each other before this one, but that game has been postponed, so this is the only game in town today. St. Francis, St. Ambrose, the rematch from December 16th, and it has played out in many ways very similarly to the first meeting. St. Ambrose won that one 61-56. They lead by a very similar score here today as the Fighting Saints try to get their revenge. They trailed much of the way. In fact, they have trailed for the vast majority of this game. They held a lead for just 1 minute and 29 seconds. And they've been down for a good 33, 34 minutes. They were down by as many as 14 points. Their biggest lead has been just 2. So if they were able to complete the comeback, it would be a tough pill for St. Ambrose to swallow. To have held the lead the entire way like this, but St. Ambrose went ice cold for a long period in this second half. And St. Francis was able to erase that double-digit deficit. They came back to tie the score at 55, but since tying it up, they've gone over 4 minutes without another basket. And now DeAndre Johnson has a chance to change that from the free throw line, at least change the scoring drought, not the field goal drought. 1-1 here. Front end is good. Saints desperately needed that. They got it. Big shot from Johnson. Now one more. DeAndre Johnson, a very good shooter at the line. He proves it by making them both. And he heads to the bench, Shahiro. 10 points for Johnson. Lewis Holy checks back into the game as the Saints put on the full court press. 1:54 to go, 3-point game. Into Kazmarek. Saints look to trap. Kazmarek is trapped. He calls timeout. One more timeout for St. Ambrose now. This one is just going to be a 30-second stoppage. With a minute 51 on the clock. 60-57. And the Saints put on their full court press for the first time today. It worked like a charm. They let the ball go into Kazmarek, immediately trapped him, and Kazmarek had nowhere to go. So this time they'll be inbounding from the sideline. We'll see if the Saints keep their press on. I don't see why they wouldn't. There's always a different setup when you're inbounding from the sideline instead of the baseline. Kerr, Allen, Friel, Scholes, and Kazmarek on the floor for St. Ambrose. Charles, Bujemi, Tillery, Holy, and Gerner for the Saints. Warren Allen is the inbounder. Inbounded to Friel, and this time the Saints are not able to trap him. Nice job by St. Ambrose out of the timeout. Here's Kazmarek, no points for him today. Given up to Friel, who has scored 13 off the bench. Kerr over to Scholes. Scholes works his way inside, now backs up into the corner for Kerr. Kerr drives, gets Charles on the ground, gives up the ball to Friel, and Gerner forces a tie-up. Second time today that Nadav Gerner has done that, just reaching his hand in on Jake Friel, trying to take the ball away and forcing a held ball. Here come the offensive subs, Ting and Fahey and Johnson all back in. .89 seconds to go. It's a one-possession game for the Fighting Saints as Eric Ting walks it down the floor. Ting parks himself on the right wing, gives it up to Fahey, backdoor cut. Joey Bujemi is fouled, going up, 2 shots. Third foul on Warren Allen, and now Bujemi, an excellent free throw shooter, is at the line. 88% on the season. He'll get 2 shots. That was the 10th foul on St. Ambrose. First one is good. Charles and Holy are back in for St. Francis. Bujemi will try to make this a 1-point game. But he misses the second foul shot. A critical miss for St. Francis, and now St. Ambrose has an opportunity to once again make it a 2-score lead. Kazmarek throws it off to Warren Allen, guarded outside by Lewis Holy, and Holy is called for the foul. There was certainly some contact there. Allen lost his footing. Holy didn't think there was enough for the foul.
St. Francis foul number 13, Lewis Holy.
But the contact coincided with Allen losing his footing and knocked Allen to the ground. So the contact, at least in part, led to him slipping. And that sends him to the line for 2 shots. Both teams now are in the double bonus. Warren Allen, just a 54% foul shooter. A minute 4 seconds on the clock. Some jawing going on. Officials are trying to cut down on that during the final minute of play here as Allen sets up for the first of 2 free throws. It's an air ball. That missed the rim by a good 6 inches. It fires up the Saints bench as they bring Johnson and Fahey back in for offense. So even if he makes this, it's still a 1-possession game, and he does not make it. Overcorrected. Went too strong on that one. 2-point game. Saints basketball, under a minute to play. Here's Carter Fahey with his back to the basket at the free throw line. Turns to dribble, dishes it off to Johnson. He's fouled. DeAndre Johnson fouled going up, and he'll get 2 free throws with an opportunity to tie the score. Third foul on Friel. And now it's Johnson to the line, so the centers of both teams go to the free throw line, or at least the big man. I guess John Kerr would be the center for St. Ambrose, but Warren Allen, one of their starting forwards. Johnson misses on the first free throw. I was just about to say, even though they're both big men, very different from the line. Allen 54%. DeAndre Johnson coming in was at 80%, and he had made his only 2 attempts of this game just a minute ago. But he misses the first one here. Saints are 3 of 5 on free throws during the last minute and 10 seconds. Next attempt from Johnson rattles in. And they need it because they have not scored from the field in about 5.5 minutes. They can't afford to miss any of their free throws right now. They've missed a couple of them down the stretch, but so is St. Ambrose. So it's still a 1-point game with 49 seconds on the clock. St. Ambrose inbounds against the full court press. Scholes to Kerr. Kerr gets it back to Scholes, and now across half court to Nathan Moeller. Saints don't need to foul. There's plenty of time left in this game. They sure could use a stop, though. Dylan Kazmarek with 17 seconds to shoot, guarded tightly by Gerner. Now it's Kerr on the left wing. Kerr takes a step inside, picked up by Gerner. Back out to Kazmarek. 3-pointer was tipped, I think, by Charles. Rebounded by Kerr, and he's pushed. With 5 on the shot clock, the foul called, and John Kerr is going to the free throw line. Dylan Kazmarek got what he thought was an open 3. E.J. Charles got his hand in there, contested the shot. It dropped well short of the rim, and Kerr grabbed the rebound. Now he's got 2 free throws. 24 seconds to play, and he makes the first one. 18 points for John Kerr. He averages 18.5 per game. Another big one today for Kerr. 18 points, 14 rebounds, and his second free throw is good. 24 seconds, and the Saints call timeout. So each team now is down to their final timeout. It's a full timeout for Ryan Marks' team right now with 24.3 on the clock. Saints have not shot particularly well from beyond the arc today, although much better in the second half. They've been 5 of 10 in the second half, just 3 of 16 in the first half. So the percentage is still down around 30. But again, they've been shooting the ball much better. They've got some solid shooters out there for sure. As I say that, keep in mind that 24 seconds is a lot of time. There's no reason that they should have to get a 3-pointer here. If they can get something quick to the basket, they would certainly take that. But if you look at the 3-point shooters, keep in mind that Eric Ting is the conference's leader. Came in shooting 61% from beyond the arc. Joey Bajemi not too far behind him at 50% on the season. And you assume they'll both be on the floor coming out of this timeout. They are, along with Russell Tillery, Carter Fahey, and DeAndre Johnson. And again, the first priority is to try to get something quick going to the basket. Jake Friel puts on the pressure just enough to try to slow down the Fighting Saints, eat up some clock here. Ting gets it across half court with just under 20 seconds to play. We're down to 14 now. Saints are not in any hurry. Fahey holds it with 11 seconds, and now the Saints may need to play for a 3. Fahey works his way inside, gives it to Johnson. Johnson's layup is blocked. Tillery's follow misses. Rebounded by Kerr, and Kerr is fouled with 3 seconds to go. And St. Ambrose now is in good position to walk out of here with a victory. Kerr just needs to make one free throw. Not a brilliant possession from the Fighting Saints at the end with the game on the line. St. Ambrose played great defense. Give them credit for that. They did not give the Saints anything easy going to the hoop, but they waited until under 10 seconds before taking it inside, and at that point, it was almost too late. When the shot didn't go, it was almost definitely too late. The foul was on E.J. Charles. Excuse me, it's on Fahey. Charles is coming in now. So Carter Fahey has fouled out. E.J. Charles is in for him. And Kerr needs to make just one free throw to put an end to this game, and he's got it. So a couple of close games between St. Ambrose and St. Francis this year, but it looks like the Fighting Bees are going to get the clean sweep. He misses that one, so now they just need to not foul. So the Saints grab the rebound and call a timeout. 2.2 on the clock. So with a 4-point game, Ryan Marks has elected to call the timeout to draw something up here. But if you're St. Ambrose, you might as well just leave your team on the bench when you come out of this timeout. It's a 4-point game with 2.2 left. The only possible way that St. Francis can still win this thing is if somebody gets fouled shooting a three-pointer. So for St. Ambrose, there's no reason to contest any shot. And I said it facetiously that they might as well just leave their team on the bench, but honestly, there's no reason for them to even bring their team out onto the court. You have to bring 5 guys out on the court, but they can all just stand on the other end if they want to. St. Francis is obviously going to try to lean into something here and draw a foul. 2.6, the clock has been reset, adding a couple fractions of a second back to it. 63-59 our score. St. Francis has trailed by as many as 14 points. They never led in the second half. They did come back and tie the score at 55, but they have not made a field goal since the 6:06 mark in the second half, and that looks like it's going to be their undoing. Ball is thrown in towards Scholes, tipped back to Bajemi. His three-pointer at the buzzer is good. So that'll help the old percentage and the scoring average as he finishes the game with 17 points. But St. Francis falls 63-62 to St. Ambrose. It was a good one here between two teams that fought hard. Neither team played its best basketball today. There were long stretches for both sides in which they really struggled on both ends of the floor, or on either end of the floor. I don't think there was ever a stretch where either team was struggling on both ends of the floor simultaneously, but the point is, it was a hard-fought game, and both teams fought through some shooting struggles at different stages of this contest, and St. Ambrose in the end was able to hit one more key free throw than St. Francis was, as they get one from John Kerr in the final moments to wrap up a 63-62 victory. The win improves the Bees to 8-2 on the season. St. Francis goes to 8-4 on the year with the loss. St. Ambrose now 3-0 in conference play. St. Francis takes their first CCAC defeat. They are 1-1 for the season. Final totals, St. Ambrose shot the ball at 45% for the game. St. Francis 35%. I mentioned the numbers earlier. Saints were just 10 of 31 shooting in the first half. Then they came out much better in the second half. They were 10 for 20. And they fell apart again. They missed their last 7 field goals. They were 8 of 26 from beyond the arc. St. Ambrose 4 of 13. So identical 31 percentages right there. Free throws, St. Francis 11 of 15. St. Ambrose 11 of 17. The Bees out-rebounded the Saints 39-34. It does not happen often to St. Francis. They have been out-rebounded, though, now in 3 consecutive games after having that happen to them just once, I believe, in their first 9 games of the season. Individual totals today for the Fighting Saints. The leader was Joey Bajemi, who finished with 17 points, 4 of 7 on three-point shooting, including that one in the final seconds when the game had already been decided. DeAndre Johnson finished with 11 points and 8 rebounds. Russell Tillery, a good all-around game, 6.7 rebounds, 4 assists. St. Ambrose was led, as usual, by John Kerr, 20 points, 15 rebounds for their senior star. Ben Scholes scored 18 points, the majority of those in the first half. In fact, Scholl scored 14 in the first half, and then he scored 4 more just in the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half, and was quiet the rest of the day, but the Bees ended up not needing him to carry the day for them as they were able to develop that big lead and then hold off that charge from St. Francis in the end. The Fighting Bees led this game for 34 minutes and 22 seconds out of the 40. So the fact that they won by only 1 point is kind of amazing in itself. They had to lead the whole way, but just could never get out of reach. St. Francis did play very hard in the second half, and in the end, their shooting woes are what got them. They played a strong game other than that final step of just putting the ball in the basket. Again, our final score, St. Ambrose 63, St. Francis 62. That's going to do it for the broadcast here today. The next team up for St. Francis is Trinity Christian. That game tentatively coming up on Saturday. I say tentative, it's on the schedule, but every game just seems tentative at this point. 3 o'clock this Saturday afternoon, they are at Trinity Christian, and that starts a series of 4 consecutive games on the road. Their next time at home is not until the end of the month, January 30th. That's a Saturday afternoon, a 3 o'clock start time against Cardinal Stritch. That's going to do it for our broadcast today. 63-62, St. Ambrose defeats St. Francis. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. Until next time, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off for the University of St. Francis. Good night, all.